Hello, my name is Nancy. I'm a retired teacher, an educator, a lifelong learner, a mother, a grandmother. I like to garden as well. And I'm also the author of this book, Keeping Kids and Teens Safe and Happy, Helpful Tips for Parents and Grandparents. And I wrote this book because when I first moved to Newtown, Connecticut, about 4.5 years ago, I heard about some horrific accidents, accidental child drownings, and I was so disturbed about it. And I wanted to write a book that would help families identify potential dangers in the home, in the backyard, and outdoors. And the book became much more than I originally thought. And I'm very pleased because now I have this series on public access TV, and I'm also getting the word out through YouTube videos. So many of my shows are on YouTube. If you just look at my name, search my name, Nancy Azzaro, you can see past shows which are now on YouTube, and I will keep adding shows in the future. So there are so many things that we have to worry about, but if we just are mindful of what the potential dangers can be. Like I just recently heard, not too long ago, a man fell off a ladder in Connecticut. He was trying to cut tree branches off of a tall tree, and he was on a ladder, and he fell, and he's in the hospital now. He was seriously injured. So please hire professionals when you're going to do any tree cutting of any sort, or even cleaning gutters, because ladders can be very dangerous. So that's one thing that I mention in the book, how dangerous falls are for children, for adults. Many emergency room doctors say that they see many, many children every day in emergency rooms from falls. So please be mindful about that. Also, last show, I spoke about nutrition, good nutrition. Now, children can't be happy if they're not healthy. That's really what it amounts to. They have to have strong immune systems to fight germs, viruses, and disease. So last show, I spoke about that good nutrition is essential, and teaching children at an early age to eat healthy snacks and nutritious meals will instill in them positive lifelong habits. You want to avoid ultra-processed foods as much as possible and feed children fruits and vegetables, whether you put them in smoothies or you cut them up and give them to them as snacks or in their lunch boxes. Foods such as highly processed foods like frankfurters and cold cuts, soft drinks, packaged cakes and cookies, potato chips, and other salty snacks are not healthy for children. Limit processed deli meats because they're high in salt and preservatives. I also spoke about chicken soup and how nutritious soups are because they're loaded with vegetables. I have on my website, Keeping Kids and Teens Safe and Happy, recipes for chicken soup and lentil soup, and I'll be adding others. But soups are a great way to give children a lot of vegetables, and they can be delicious. I make my soups by first sauteing onions in olive oil and adding some tomatoes, and that's like the basis of my soups. And then I make chicken soup that way, lentil soup, and minestrone. If a member of your family is sick, a warm bowl of chicken soup, minestrone, or lentil, or another variety of soup will help them to feel better and be soothing. Homemade or store-bought ready-to-eat chicken or vegetable broth or bone broth, always try to buy organic, low sodium, are very nutritious and can be sipped or added to soups. Recently, on the recommendation of a friend, I started to make my own bone broth, which I add to soups, while freezing some for later use. Phthalates are synthetic chemicals that are often added to plastic, and they can leach into food during storage. So try to avoid plastic when storing food, either in the refrigerator and definitely in the freezer. So use glass, Pyrex containers, or stainless steel. If you purchase food in plastic containers, transfer the food into glass when you get home, or stainless steel. So the way that you store food is also very important. There is some evidence that warm liquids, such as herbal tea or warm water with honey, lemon, or fresh ginger, will help to loosen nasal mucus and make breathing easier. Please note that you have to avoid honey for infants under the age of 1, and that's according to the American Academy of Pediatrics. For children 1 year and older, a half or whole teaspoon of honey has been found, according to studies, to help loosen and calm a cough. It can be mixed in a warm liquid as suggested above, but only if a child is 1 year or older. I find that fresh ginger, which you can peel and buy at the supermarket, is great for an upset stomach. Sometimes I just chew on it. If my stomach is upset, I will just chew on a little piece of ginger. Or you can make ginger tea. I know people that grate the ginger, fresh ginger, and they drink it. Also, organic peppermint tea is very good for indigestion or stomach issues. So eating well and encouraging children to eat well, to build their immune systems, is very important to keep them happy and healthy. And children should have a well-rounded life. And in the book, I will be talking about in the future, in this series, the importance of laughter and sunshine and good stories, a love of reading, learning to care for others and showing kindness to the disadvantaged. This all helps children to have a well-rounded life. I'm also going to talk about the most nutritious foods for brain development. The following foods are considered necessary for healthy brain growth and development in in young children. Eggs, seafood thoroughly cooked, organic leafy green vegetables, broccoli and other organic vegetables, organic berries, citrus fruits, lean cooked poultry or meat, nuts and seeds. All of these, yogurt, beans, whole grains, olive oil. Salmon is especially good for brain health. Always wash fruits and vegetables thoroughly, and when you can, buy organic. Interestingly, I read that olive oil is very healthy for adults. And so parents and grandparents consider taking a small daily dose of olive oil, which improves brain health and has other heart healthy benefits. Also water, drinking water and making sure it's clean water, okay, filtered water. Make sure your water is clean. And staying hydrated is essential for brain function. Drinking water can improve brain health. According to pediatricians, water and unsweetened pasteurized milk are the best drinks for children. So we have to be very mindful of what we give to our children, what they're eating, what they're drinking. This is crucial for their development. That was just a review of nutrition, but I will always speak about a topic from the front of the book, how to keep kids safe, and then always from the back of the book, how to keep them happy. Today I want to introduce a new topic that I haven't spoken about before, and it's about ticks. And in Connecticut, unfortunately, there are a lot of deer ticks. Lyme disease was first identified in Lyme, Connecticut in 1975. Lyme disease is caused by a bacterial infection that comes from a bite from an infected deer tick. Deer ticks are very small and they're hard to detect. The greatest risk is from late spring to early summer. There are over 300,000 new cases of Lyme disease each year. A tick has to be attached for over 24 hours for someone to get Lyme disease. Not every tick carries the bacteria. So when spending time outdoors with your children, especially in the spring and summer, and when you're near bushy, grassy, or forested areas or parts of your backyard or parks that are not mowed, children must be checked thoroughly for ticks that same day or evening and a few days later. And check your teenagers and you check yourself as well. Ticks can live anywhere on the body, but they prefer warm, moist areas. When going for a walk or hike or when gardening, all members of your family should wear protective clothing, light-colored clothing so that the ticks can be seen. Also a hat and socks with hiking boots or sneakers. Stay on paths and away from tall grasses or forested areas. Avoid sitting on logs. Spray yourself and your family or your clothes with insect repellent. I prefer natural repellents, but that is a personal choice. Some experts believe that you have to have DEET in the insect repellent. Again, that's a choice that parents have to make. When the lawn around your home is mowed and the areas around your apartment are free of debris, that will be very helpful. Ticks can live on wild animals as well as pets, and also in wood piles and leaf piles, so keep those piles away from your home. If a tick is found on your child, remove it immediately using a fine tweezer, gripping the tick as close to the skin as possible. Then clean the spot with soap and water or a disinfectant. Save the tick in a small jar or bottle, if possible, for later testing. And for any other concerns, call your doctor for medical advice. Tick activity in Connecticut now spans from March to December. So remember that it's very important to check your child when they're outdoors. Check their hair along the hairline, in and around their ears, their armpits, inside their belly button, around the waist, between their legs, and behind the knees. And check your pets too. Pets can carry ticks into your home, so be very careful. You want to avoid Lyme disease at all costs. It's a terrible disease. Another topic I want to cover today is the importance of good air quality. If you live in a city or near a busy roadway, it is particularly important to invest in an air purifier for your home. Air pollution from truck exhaust is very unhealthy and can penetrate deep into the lungs and cause respiratory problems. So when I read that, I was very surprised that truck exhaust, these tiny, tiny particles, can get trapped in your lungs, and they can cause future problems, future respiratory problems. Wildfire smoke is very bad. From nearby fires is the problem. If you live in an area of the country that is prone to wildfires, you have to be very mindful of that. Fine particles from wildfire smoke can enter a home through open windows, bathroom or kitchen, fan vents, or air conditioning units that take in outside air. Smoke can seep in through cracks near windows or doors. So invest in a good quality air purifier. Even a portable one can be effective. Air purifiers extract harmful particles from the air you breathe. Devices that have HEPA filters with a MERV rating of 17 or higher are most adept at removing harmful particles. High-quality air purifiers can remove smoke, odors, mold, allergens, dust, and pet dander. Some air purifiers, but not all, can even reduce airborne viruses and germs. Also be aware that certain types of flooring can emit harmful vapors known as off-gassing. Some forms of vinyl or laminate flooring are considered toxic because of the chemicals they contain, such as reprocessed plastic, phthalates, can disrupt hormone function, and volatile organic compounds, VOCs, including benzene and formaldehyde. Even low-level fumes from VOCs can have a negative effect on indoor air quality. Healthy flooring materials such as solid wood or natural stone are better options. If you choose vinyl flooring, look for options that are marked low VOC. Some flooring options are certified to meet safety standards. I remember a few years ago I ordered a new mattress, and that mattress had a terrible smell. It's called off-gassing, and I was told by the store clerk, don't worry, in a few days it'll pass, but it didn't. And I returned that mattress because I'm very, very conscious of smells. And so it went back to the store, and I chose another mattress. So you have to be very careful about that. Carpeting or large area rugs provide a soft cushion for children to play on, and they make a room cozy. But from personal experience, since I have allergies and my children had allergies when they were young, I was advised by an allergist not to place wall-to-wall carpeting in a bedroom. So I have small area rugs on either side of my bed, but I wouldn't consider wall-to-wall carpeting in a children's bedroom. I recently went to a nail salon for a manicure. I was going to a wedding, and I went to get a manicure. And I was really shocked because there were two mothers at the salon, and they had babies in little infant seats next to them as they were getting manicures. And I thought to myself, you know, the smell was very unpleasant in the nail salon. I didn't think it was a place for infants. I was very surprised. So I did see that. So I would suggest you don't bring infants to nail salons. Again, I don't think it's good for them to breathe in that air in the nail salon. So as I've mentioned, my past shows are now on YouTube, many of them. I've had some very wonderful guests. My niece Christine came on one of the shows, which will be posted soon, and she spoke about the experience of adopting a foster child, a 12-year-old girl from the foster care program in New England. So if you know of anyone who's interested in adopting a child from foster care, which is a very good work, a noble work, then check out that show. That will be put on YouTube in a couple of weeks. So I want to thank you for watching this show, and I would like to always end with some prayers. May I live with peace, and may you live with peace. May I live with goodness, and may you live with goodness. May I be kind to others, and may you be kind to others. May I be a healing presence for others, and may you be a healing presence for others. May I find meaning and purpose in my life, and may you find meaning and purpose in your life. May I remember to be grateful, and may you remember to be grateful. I would like to thank Western Connecticut Community TV for their training and ongoing support. Thank you for watching this show. See you next time.